The application of the false method of rationalism led to the elimination of God, ethics and morality from social life. In the innermost circle of modernity is the false assumption that only that which is verifiable through the scientific method is real and true. Thus modernity devised a method of investigation by the application of which man will easily filter out the supernatural reality. Thus, to them, the truth of God becomes unreal as it is not empirically verifiable. The so-called scientific method of modernity is not only highly reductionistic but also a subtle eliminator of truth. Hence overemphasis on the rationality of the individual led to the scientific method of materialist positivism, which delimited the reality of truth to that which can be tested and verified. Thus in the secular materialistic culture God, Satan and demons are unmentionables. Even when the evil rages in the society like a roaring lion, the contemporary academic culture makes its existence intellectually indefensible. Modern materialistic culture with the help of modern science has systematically got rid of all the methodological devices to deal with the supernatural and transcendental realities, and thus excluded God from the sphere of reality and banished him into the realm of myths. Individual has replaced God as the foundation of truth. Reason becomes the source of knowledge, not God. Technology has garnered unquestionable allegiance from all corners. It has acquired a religious appeal and rendered sanctity, legitimacy and acceptability to the so-called developments it offered. Renaissance made man the measure of all things. Enlightenment deified his reason and excluded God from the realm of rational discourse. Modernity and rationalism are anti-intellectual as it excludes God from the sphere of rational discourse. Modernity gave rise to ideologies and belief systems which promised better future through the application of reason. It developed different approaches to truth. Empiricist approached truth from sense experiences only. Nihilist proclaimed the meaninglessness and emptiness of life, rejected God as an unviable entity and made man himself as God. Existentialism encouraged man to live with a passion for the now. Various belief systems have lubricated the journey towards the evolution of this present mentality. Rationalism becomes evil when it is used to justify the unjustifiable. Satan is the prince of all rationalizations. They falsely concluded that that which cannot be analyzed according to the practical reason cannot exist. Thus God was rationalized out of existence by the modern. Such a conclusion was not a natural result of science but the outcome of the moral choice of man through which the inherent evil in man was exposed. He celebrated the death of God and buried God in his ultimate silly notions of hypocritical ideologies and academic values. The deification of reason, making human reason or intelligence itself as the ultimate authority or God, has only served the purpose of finally devising and legitimizing a universal culture of eroticism, irrationality and violence. Such rationalistic scientism has the unproven and unprovable premise that no reality exists beyond the world of time, space and matter. Absolute dependence on the rationality of man for the attainment of knowledge ignores the fact of sin and its corrupting influence on his power of reasoning. Rationalism fails to appreciate the fact that it is absurd to define absolute reality in terms of the relative world. Thus scientific rationalism is subtle and highly reductionistic that through its rationalizations it attempts to hide from man the deep realms of reality and the totality of truth for man. In this manner rationalism falsely denies the reality of things which pertain to the spirit world. Rationalism has led to the idolatry of reason which in turn resulted in the foolish academic arrogance and pettiness of modern man. Man cannot know truth of God with human knowledge. The application of the scientific method in academics led to the secularization of education, whereby people were systematically re-educated on values through universities and schools. All possible references to God were removed from the curriculum. This imprisoned the people in a vicious circle, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. You do are not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God. Only the Christian faith can be the most logical belief system. In Jesus